My friends, rejoice. The finality. It is nigh. It is tomorrow. It is the beginning of the end of the process that it is this thing that we're in. Do not be shaken. Do not worry. Do not adhere to this constant refrain of what about the swing states? What about this? What's the matter with you? Have you not been paying attention? Do you honestly believe at this point anything that you look at is going to tell you the truth? Do you truly believe that? No. We're going to win. It's going to happen. And you can't believe it. You can't bring yourself to it because you've been through so much. You've been through this horror. You have been through this absolute horror. Your life has been one horrible, I shouldn't say your life, but our political life since 2015. And let me tell you something. It's not stopping. It's not stopping. One day, or MAGA, as people say, is going to be a movement, a party. I am not kidding you. I want you to rejoice. You were a part of a revolution. This is something that we've never seen before. You really don't understand this because you're so worried. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you for being worried. I don't. And I look, this is traumatic. You have been through this as I have been for years. And we live and breathe this. We've been told, we've been shut down. We have been absolutely hurt, harmed in ways that nobody ever even imagined. If you told people this, during the this is very interesting. No matter how horrid the world is, we don't go and rip off signs of somebody's lawn that has a Harris, or we don't do this. I was telling someone the other day, had you worn a hat, had you had a shibboleth or some type of taproot canticle, some article of faith to your belief system, we would have not threatened you, told you you can't come into this room. We would have never done this. But you don't have anything. You don't have any exhortations. You don't have any groups. You don't have a MAGA version for the Democrats. You exist only in the world of hate. You hate Trump. I know that may sound odd. You can't maintain, and history will show you can't maintain a movement on that. You can't. So, my friends, first, before we begin, let me tell you one thing. Number one, subscribe. Make sure you were subscribed here. I have a brand new final, well, not a final, but I should say, I keep using the word final, but a newsletter, an email, an epistle, something to let you know, something to let you say, you know what? I want to read this. I actually want to read this. This is the most important thing in the world. I want to read this. I want to read what you have to say. I want to hear your words. I want to. Yes, we want to see what you. But write something. The beauty, the glory. Nobody writes anymore. Nobody does it. But this is mine, and I invite you, dear friends, to sign up for this right here. Right here. This is it. And I'm looking so forward to tomorrow. I'm looking so forward to it for reasons that, I mean, nobody wants to hear me because a lot of people are saying I think sometimes people figure, well, two things. Number one, people don't want to get their hopes up, but they also don't want they kind of like being depressed. No. There are some people who, honest to God, like being depressed. There's something about it. It's a weird kind of a thing, but that's what they do. And they enjoy this. It's very odd, very, very strange. So, anyway, dear friends, two things. Remember, I was reading this morning a piece from, I forget where it was, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab and the Globalists, and what they are planning to do to teach us a lesson and to create the next version of whatever this horror storm is going to be. China owns, I don't know how much of our farmland. I don't know this. China has been ignored. China, with all this Russia talk and this talk and Israel talk, we've forgotten all about it. I don't know how much of our farmland we own. I don't know if we're the breadbasket anymore. If we own the breadbasket, I don't know this. They are planning something. They're also planning something. Remember this strike. And I keep telling you this because they never solved it. It's like the Korean War. There was nobody gave up. There was no surrender. It was just a kind of a ceasefire. That's not good. You want finality. You want closure. Preparewithlionel.com is what you absolutely, positively have to go to right now to prepare. I am telling you, as sure as I am sitting here, the shadow government, the deep state, the police state, the intel state, the ruling class, whoever these people are planning catastrophic calamity, chaos into order, especially. You know the routine. You know the taproot, dare I say, the canticle of the choir. Preparewithlionel.com. And also don't forget our dear friend mypillow.com, the great Mike Lindell, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Go see for yourself, use promo code Lionel and receive a free gift. Tautological to be sure, but nonetheless true. God bless these people. All right, let's go through with this. Again, as I have said to you, and I repeat, there is something that I'm finding, and I want to tell you a little bit about what I've learned. First, I've learned so much. Number one, I've learned so much from you, and I thank you for this. I thank you for what you have taught me. I have learned so much from our world and through our world from you. You were the only people, seriously, that I can go to, that I can talk to. I told you yesterday, Mrs. L and I were at an event, and she was as part of her Lynn's Warriors philanthropy. And we were in Queens, and we were talking to a number of people, and one was a preacher or a community, and they are all one of us. And if you think that two Trump people meeting each other or something, try meeting two members of, dare I say, the clerisy, the conspiratorium, the people like us who say we are like-minded folks, the people who understand this, who get it, who grasp what's happening. See, there's a whole bunch of us out there. There's a whole bunch of us out there, and we know exactly what's happening. And when we meet other people, we kind of say, so do you use, we kind of use these phrases. We kind of use these phrases just to sort of, meet. Like, are you voting? It's going to be an interesting election, isn't it? Sure is. I'm not asking you if you're voting for anybody, but, and you kind of feel each other out. Because remember, we, as you know, we suffer from people who hurt us regarding our speaking our mind. We don't tell these people what they can and can't do. We don't tell. Think about this. When you go to somebody and you try to explain to them, let's say they're a Gamala, supporter, they don't understand what you're talking about. They don't understand. In this newsletter, I said, if you want to see what do you think the lifespan or the lifespan of a Trump, a Trump MAGA yard sign, about the half-life of Einsteinium. We don't go and destroy these people things. They do. This is a group of people who somehow have been imbued with the spirit of hate. I've never seen, I never thought this was even remotely possible, but it's true. It's unbelievable. And we are a different group. So understand, relax of this. One of the reasons why they're like this is that they know they're losing. Maurice Houston, thank you. Raul Rodriguez says, Guatemala's Logoria made it easy for Trump to win. Part of it. Tony Dash says, thank you, Uncle Lenny, for being here. Thank you. And thank you as well. Now, let me explain. Listen, there is I keep using this wonderful word, this kind of like a mixture. It's a concatenation, a bringing together of various stimuli, and it's a lot of things. First and foremost, tonight is their last gasp. What do you think about the fact that they are in Philly tonight? Who is it going to be? Maybe it's going to be Lady Gaga. We don't know whether Katy Perry, is that Fat Joe? And who else? And maybe, I don't think Taylor Swift's going to be. Do you think she's going to be there? I don't think so. J-Lo, Beyonce, they are on the back nine. I know nobody cares about this. And I know, work with me on this. Work with me on this. First, let me ask you great people this question. Why do you think they're doing this last minute push in Philly? Why? Why are they doing this? Why? They could be in a number of places, a lot of swing states. Why Philly? Why? Why? There's their desperation. They know it's collapsing. This is it. And she doesn't care. This is something you have a hard time grasping. She's never wanted this. July 21st, 106 days ago, she said, okay, she's never had her soul. She's never had it. I got to tell you something. Yesterday, I'm still look what somebody gave me. This friend of ours came up. She says, "Come here." The woman, she says, "You do you get one of these?" And I said, "What?" She had something in her hand. She says, "Do you get one of these?" And my mind's like, "Oh my God, it's like the '80s again. What is it? What do you mean? Go want one of these? Is it we're at a church?" Of course, I'll be. This is what she had. You see this? Look at that. This Trump kind of a brooch pin. I said, "Of course, give it to me." She's handing them out like that. Look at the way we're like in the underground. We're like this. Here, take it. Everybody's talking. I told you we met this woman yesterday who was our interpreter. She came out of, wasn't she like almost like sent from God? This woman just shows up. And she's this Chinese. She knows everybody and can speak the lingo. And she says, no, I'll do this. And she says, you got to understand something. They don't trust you. I said, I don't blame them. I don't trust me. And she said, let me tell you something. All these people here, they're voting for Trump. They're voting. Everybody here is a citizen. Every single one. She says, go around, walk around here. They own the houses, they own the businesses, they own this stuff right off of Northern Boulevard. No. This is huge. And they own a house. These are not cheap. They're citizens. Every one of them, she says, they do this citizenship. She's got like 35 in her group. Ryan says, what the hell is Ann Selzer doing dropping a plus 3 poll in Iowa? Since when does a blood red state like Iowa swing 21 points to the left in less than 4 months without any indication? Throw it out. What am I supposed to do, Ryan? I don't care about this. This is, I got to tell you something, and I mean this. Let me say this to you. Don't let me lose my thought. Pilgrim says her logoria causes her loquacity Doo-doo, indeed. Emotional incontinence is another word for it. You have got to stop with these polls. I love you. It is the most boring thing. Which poll? Who is this woman? Do you know the best way to get your name out if you want to put a poll out? Say something negative about Trump and they'll talk about you. Brian Ekdahl said, up, down, left, right in your face. Absolutely. What about this fellow who says, well, he's never not called an election. And then you listen to him and he has all these qualifications. Would you stop talking about the polls? Which poll? No, but if you, let me stop. Let me finish this one thing about this Chinese. Everybody's voting for Trump. Everybody. I was with a group, we were with Dominicans. Well, these are all Christian people too, as part of a church. And well, put it this way: the church put it on, and it wasn't political at all. It was just free, give away diapers and this. But all of them who recognized, who had a sense of belonging, had a sense of commitment, everybody was for Trump. Everybody, black, Chinese, everybody. It was like, well, of course. They don't even recognize, and it wasn't anything about her. It was him. They didn't even recognize her. Now you're going to say, well, that was what? That's a group of people. Interestingly enough, every time I meet, if you want me to be miserable, put me in a group with a bunch of professional political people. Take me to any Republican club, and I am crawling the walls to get up. I have never met a bunch of stupid people in my life who feel that they are better than everybody else. I thought maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just misanthropic. Maybe that's it. No. It's their attitude. They don't know anything. The people that I spoke with who talk about polls and activities and what they're hearing and what they're seeing, who really understand it, talk to somebody who comes from a communist country and let them explain to you their perspective of what Trump means to them. Brian Ekdahl says, man, please play the Lionel tune when you can. The Lionel tune? I don't even know what that is. Probably I'm not going to risk any kind of copyright violations. No, this is a different world, my friend. I don't know what you're speaking of, but thank you. But let me go back to these polls. These polls. There is a show, I'm not going to mention it, with these haughty, horse's ass know-it-alls, and they sit around, and each one says, well, next time, it's a 2016, Ohio was red. It was the and of course, swing states with the ballot. And of course, as you understand, downstate, the down ballots. This is the most boring thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like listening to a football coach talk about a game. They look at it completely differently. They don't, it's not what the fan wants to hear. And I think people want to think, some people, I swear to God, there's no critical thinking. And I think a lot of people like to be upset. I think a lot of people like to really be nervous. Well, what about this? Well, why is it down? Well, who are these people? And why do these people like her? I don't know. I don't even know who they are. I don't believe anything I read. Brian says, the Lionel tune was played when you were on the radio. No, thank you, sir. That's the Gypsy Kings. And that is called copyright. No, I'm not going to know. Brian, where have you been, man? You can't play music on here. You can't. If you do, you got to share. No. It's called Nina Morena by the Gypsy Kings. It's off of the Mosaic CD or album. And it's wonderful. It sounds just like they're saying the name Lionel, when in fact they are not. Okay, here's what you got to tell people. First, who are the people I go to? I talk to people who are the big donors. I talk to the people who are on the front lines of this. The people that you may not know, people that may not want you to know who they are, but the people who are putting the money in, the people who tell me, here's what I'm hearing. And one of the things which is important is that if you're going to be a big money person, they're going to have to tell you what the realities are regarding the numbers. And this is what's important. The big money people say, I'm not going to give you a boatload of money if you don't show me the internals. What do you show here? Here they are. And the internals, they know what the internals are of the others. They know this. So they let everybody do all their stuff. They're not going to sit there and say, we're going to spend $1 million on this. And we're going to tell the world, well, ha, 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 we're showing you down such as, even though there are cheats and there are folks and there are, okay. So the first rule is the internals show him blasting it out of the park, not Ann Selzer. You understand this? This is one of the things which absolutely makes to me no sense whatsoever. That's the thing which I don't understand. This is what's so critical. And you got to understand this thing. The stuff that you're reading, the stuff that you read in the how do I say this? The stuff that you read in TV. You know, these are one of these things which I'm very sorry, but I got to tell you something. It sounds tough, but I got to tell you something. I'm sorry to say this. That doesn't work. Okay, that's number one. Number two, what are we really looking at right here? What is it that we're really looking at? Tell me what you're actually trying your best to figure out. Tell me. Tell me what you're saying. What are you worried about? Where are you getting your data from? See, first and foremost, you got to understand something. This is the end of Donald Trump as a candidate. Do you understand this? Do you understand what we're saying here? And please do yourself a favor, and I mean this with all due respect. Always be around people that you like. Don't spend time with people that you don't like. You have no duty whatsoever to entertain people who say things that upset you, or people who try to hurt you, or people who want to insult you. They will tell you sometimes, well, that's freedom of speech. No, your freedom of speech. You can go in the corner, say whatever you want. Please go in the corner. Please knock yourself out. I don't have to listen to this. And by the way, please make sure that you're not tormented by family members, friends, people that you feel. Do not be a part of people who make your world negative. I learned this yesterday. I mean this. I can't say this enough, and I can't say it absolutely. I can't say it enough. I felt so good yesterday. I told you this. There was a little African-American young man, little boy, who there was a toy. Somebody had trucks or something. And the smile, I swear to God, it killed me. This was a Christmas, and it wasn't a toy. And you know what a phone. Pardon me. It wasn't a phone. It was a toy. It was like a truck. It was like a thing with wheels and truck. And yet I was thinking at that moment, here we are, and it was cold as hell too. And here we are, and I'm enjoying the best conversation with the best people from the most diverse. And if I were in a group of people, listen to what I'm saying. The Republicans, they'd be doing selfies about how sexy they are. I kid you not. Aren't we great? Hey, let's go to the marathon. Screw the marathon. I don't care about the marathon. They don't need me. You go. No, I don't. What is this? Hey, no, I don't want to go with you all. You're boring to me. This is the election of a year. And their idea is that, let me just sit in my car, take a picture of me about how, let me do hair and makeup, and then sit there and say, well, this trash bag's going to vote for Trump. I have no time for these people. I have no earthly. Yesterday, I was talking about everything from Bilderberg to Bohemian Grove to Norman Mineta to you name it. And let me also tell you something. There is a group of people who absolutely, positively wants to hear this. And if I walked into any of these if there's a Democratic club, and I would talk about this, they wouldn't know what you're talking about. They live in a world of CNN. They live in a world, and we're going to reject them. Walk away from this. They drain you. They're negative. Next, Mrs. L said this the best. MAGA is going to be a political party. Ryan says, I apologize for bringing up the polls. I'm just nervous. I should be taking comfort that Wall Street is preparing for a Trump win. They have more money to lose if they are not prepared. But I appreciate this, but do you remember what happened last time? Do you remember what happened last time? You're doing and I appreciate this. But you have to listen to some people who, oh, look at this, my friend. Jay Koziu says, thank you, Mr. L. I appreciate that. You know, this may surprise you. I don't know if you know about this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I have found out that there are people in various political organizations, people who represent a lot of money. They're not the most interesting people in the world, believe me when I tell you this. But they're very, very good and very practical about this. And I promise you, by virtue of just being here, being in the business, being in talk radios really since 1988, being in New York City, knowing a lot of people, politicians and people in media, whatever, I promise you, I bet that I know. When I say no, I'm not talking about buddy. Believe me, no. But I'm talking about people that I know and have access to who are absolute billionaires, legitimate, not this other kind of stuff. Again, we're not friends. I'm not. But this one is in this group, and this one is this group, and that's it. And I know this. I know what I'm telling you. And when you're at certain strata, when you were people, I saw this before in the New York real estate. There were people who were 100% Trump, who last time in 2020 said, "Oh, he doesn't have it." Wall Street knew it. He doesn't have this. Not that he's not worth it. They just know the numbers. It was just this thing. It was, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I've told you about this repeatedly, and you've always, well, not always, but you forget this. Trying to make sense out of stuff is very difficult for people to do. I ask you, why were the Beatles so big? We can argue. The answer is nobody knows. Nobody knows. What was that guy's name from? Remember Joey's show? Sid, the guy who brought the Beatles here to Shea Stadium, brought him to Sid, whatever his name was. The guy who brought the Beatles. It was the weirdest thing. I met him, Sid Rosenblatter. But anyway, he was Greenberg. Or he brought, not Sid Rosenberg. No. People are still going to remember that moment from the Madison Square Garden. No, but he was saying at the time, he said, I don't know why. I hear they're good. We'll give them a shot. We'll bring them over here. This is when this was before radio. Before we had AM radio. Okay, the point is nobody knew, but it blew up. Other people came over. Animals didn't do this. Stones didn't do that. Freddie and the Dreamers didn't do this. Other people didn't. John and Jeremy didn't do this. And Badfinger did it. I don't know why. You want to look at the polls? We can look at the polls. You want to look at the polls? We can look at the polls. Well, early morning play, among good teenage girls. You want to do this? You want to create the idea that somehow we know why? You want to pretend? I told you there's this one show. Huh? Bernstein. Sid Bernstein, right? I think his name. And he couldn't tell you. Okay, so there are these shows. There's one in particular. They're so boring, and they sit around and I'm not going to mention the name, but they try to act like they know. Well, and it's the most boring goddamn thing in the world. It's just the most horrible thing you've ever heard. All these numbers, all these polls. Well, there's going to be a poll. Well, the only poll you care about is an internal poll, period, that you spend $1 million for. The rest of them are like, it doesn't matter. They don't even care. Listen to John McLaughlin talk about it. He's on my friend Mark Simone's show. He's very good. He's really good. He says Look at the poll number. Look at the sample size. Are they likely voters? Where did they get them? Who are these people? What are we trying to do? If you go to ABC, let's say, and you are commissioned to do a poll and you kept saying, oh, Trump's going to win, they're not going to hire you to do the poll anymore. You know that. Let me say it again. If ABC, CNN, MSDNC were to quote commission you to do a poll and you keep saying, I'm telling you again, Trump's going to clobber them, they're not going to. And the reason, I've never been polled either, but I never got, anybody here get an Arbitron rating book or a PPM? No, but I know they do it. I don't know. I've never had that happen. But what I'm telling you is that the shadow government has its media people, and they work in concert. The media promotes what they're trying to do. That's number one. Look at how Kamala, it was on SNL in this moment of desperation. She came across like an idiot. She came across like somebody they pulled out of the audience who didn't even understand it, who just wanted to laugh. Her whole thing is just to laugh. It's this thing about laughing. She, honest to God, knows, and I'm going to go a little further here. Her whole life has been trying to confuse and lie and distort and con men into thinking that she's something she's not. And that's where the laughing and the coquettish and the chameleon, Kamala chameleon, I'm black, I'm Asian, I'm whatever you want me to be. I'll wear whatever you want, I'll say whatever you want, and I'll do whatever you want because I have no substance. I'm not here. I don't really need anything, but I don't have anything. I'm not married. I don't have children. I'm this. Am I black? If you want me to be. Are you Asian? If you want me to be. Are you a woman? If you want me to be. I don't know. I'm just here for the beer. I just fill up the thing and that's it. There's no me here. Peter Sellers, they said, never had a real voice. Peter Sellers did not have a real voice and did not have a real personality. They said this later on. He never had one. Nobody ever knew him. If 10 people knew him, 10 people knew him differently. Now, before we continue, I want to bring this very, very important critical issue is, especially if you've got friends of yours, loved ones, kids, people who are absolutely drowning in credit card debt, who say, where do I start? What do I like this Dave Ramsey. Well, what you do? Pay off your bills. I can't pay. That's the point. You think I don't know this? Well, you don't buy it with a credit card. I did buy it. It's either buy. I love these after the fact geniuses who tell you this obvious stuff. So where do you go? Listen to this. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. Now, I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even helped negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. All right, my friends. Let me see. How about this one? Trump loses with highest popular votes ever. Electoral college gets abolished in 2028. Only hope is a big blue city. This is ridiculous. This is, with all due respect, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. I really don't. I honest to God, I know it's your attempt at being piquant. And I know it's your attempt to say, well, I'm going to say something that's going to get some attention. That's going to get some attention. Why? Well, because I know this stuff and I'm going to say something. That is absolutely, there's no basis for that. Sometimes people just sit back and they say, okay, Trump wins the city but loses, and they just say these things. They say these things. It's a very simple thing. It's a very, honest to God. The question is, does he have 270 votes? Yes. Yes or no? Nobody is going to abolish the Electoral College. Nobody. Nobody is going to abolish the Electoral College. Nobody. Why would you say that? What makes you say that? Where is that? What is the basis for that? Where is that? How do I start so I can interact? I would like to click and interact. Well, you just did. Click and interact, my friend. You can do it again. This is the thing which is just, I don't understand this. And you've got to also find out when to turn people off. To sit there and say, okay. I've got friends of mine who say, they're going to steal it. They're going to steal it. That's all they do. That's all he says. I'm going to steal it. They're going to steal it. I'm telling you. That it's like a minor bird. Well, what do you mean? They're going to steal it. They're going to steal it. Well, how are they going to steal it? I don't know. And you know what I do? I leave these people. I've got a friend of mine. He's a dear friend. He sends me quotes from Robert Reich. I say, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I've got other people who say things all the time. Here's another one too. I don't need people to remind me sort of why it makes sense. Just because it makes sense for Trump to win doesn't mean he's going to win. That's not what I want. I want just simply this. Who gets 270? He gets 270. Do you have the numbers? We have the numbers. That's it. Iowa's up by 3, 2 by this. Hillary was down. This is whoever it was who said, I don't remember polls being like this. And by the way, the polls, when you say the polls, that's like saying words like vaccines, medicine, drugs. No, they're not bad. Some vaccines we have to look at. Vaccines work. Immunology works. There's no, Pasteur was, it was correct. But which ones? Drugs are great. Which ones? Hypodermic needles work great. It depends on what's in them. We have lost all critical thinking of this. And that's why you have to make sure you've got to stop, honest to God, listening to people. Which polls? There's this one called, I don't know what it was. Ebenagris is 2020. I don't even read that one. And it's all pro. Trump is going to win. You're going to Trump. You're going to kill him. Okay, let's see what happens. I don't understand what's going on here. It's like, do you want to sit there when you're driving, take a glance at the speedometer, but don't stare at it. If you stare at it, you're not going to see where you're going. You're missing this. You're missing what's happening here. You're not going to be able to say this when your grandchildren say, what happened, Grandma? I say, I don't know. I was busy watching the polls. I don't even remember what happened. This was something which was so important. And let me tell you one thing that Trump does, and you forget the polls. They're not vicious. If the FCC had allowed Trump to show up on SNL right before the election, they would have shut that thing down. What does Trump do? Nothing. Nothing. They've got the manpower. If Trump said, I want everybody to march in front of the NBC, whatever, or the FCC, and show all those 100,000 people, okay. You want them to say, "Oh my God!" You see, let me just be very, very clear here. I want one day for America to fear, or the government to fear us, and not us fear the government. It's that it. So when you say polls, which polls? What are you talking about? After 2016, 2020, what polls? What? They put this out, and the best part about it was keep telling people, now listen to me, keep telling people that Trump's down in Iowa, so more people will show up and vote for Trump. Our side gets motivated. The other side doesn't. They don't vote. Do you think tonight, all of the people, they're going to Philly to see a free concert? They asked, who was it? They joked about Beyonce opening for her. Beyonce didn't open. Beyonce came out and gave some stupid speech as a mother, and she didn't open. Let me ask you a question. Why are people going to be going to this? They're going to be going to see a concert. They're not going to see Kamala. Let me try this again. Tony says, if they do, okay, I don't want to say that word because algorithms are funny about this. All right. So let's use purloin, or perhaps it'd be something else. But again, what you're doing is you're missing the event. When you were a kid, you sit there and say, what time's Christmas? The next week. What if they cancel it? What if there's no Santa? What if there's no gifts? What if they bring gifts and somebody steals our gifts before we get them? What if somebody replaces our gifts with empty boxes tied? What if they're broken? What if when you were shipping, what if you would sit there and say, come here, I got to talk to you. Yeah, what's the matter with you? You're a defeatist. You don't understand. I read this story about the polls this year say that Santa Claus, what? What are you talking about? Hey, little Hector, you want to maybe, are you going to ask her out? What if she says no? What if I'm humiliated? What if it changes me? What if I change my sexuality? Because what if I say, wait, what's the matter with you? I live in the world of doom. I anticipate everything. What if he loses? What if Trump? What if he doesn't make it? What if they won't let him? What if they don't want to? What happens if they do it again? What if they're successful? What happens if they? What if they do? Oh my God! There are people who are Trump's going to say, "I'm telling you, here I am. I hope he doesn't have an inauguration. I hope it goes right to the White House, does it in the Oval Office, and starts getting to work and say, you know what? You want to have a party? You go have a party. I'm not going to do this anymore." Some folks would sit there and say, how do we know he really? How do we know that's Trump? What happens if something happens before? Does that count? What if it doesn't count? What if they say it doesn't count? He's in the White House. Okay, but how do we know that? How do we know he's in the White House? What if something happens? What if all of a sudden, what if they evoke the 25th Amendment against him? What if Jimmy Raskin's correct? Would you stop it? You don't understand. This is the way I think. And what if it's like, stop it? Stop it. Absolutely stop it. This is the thing which absolutely is the most, this is absolutely, how do I say this? And I am so absolutely tired, and I mean this. I am so tired of naysayers. You don't understand it. I am absolutely 100%. Absolutely. I am not going to spend any time with people who just say this ridiculous stuff. And like I say, please do me a favor. I mean this, do me a favor, please. Find a place or find people that are, oh, I don't know. Find somebody that likes to hear what you have to say or whatever. I don't understand this. I really don't understand it. I have been through this, and you have, since 2016. 50. And everywhere I go, people have said, you can't say this, you can't say that. And I'm going to tell you one thing, and I mean this. I'm not going to spend any time with people who just kind of enjoy this. You understand this? It's this, they enjoy this. Okay? Here's one for you. Here's reality, folks. This election will be decided by judges and lawyers, and the results won't be known until January. Democratic election, I think not. Now, why do you say that? Why do you say that? Bigsby, tell me how you say that. Well, I don't know if I say that. I just say that. Well, why'd you say it? Well, because I'm kind of a naysayer, and I want to show people that I kind of know what's going on. And I think the most important part is, what about Peanut and Fred? Nobody's talking about that one, and I'm with you on that one, Trash. See, I love these experts. You don't understand how this works. That's not going to work. They're not going to let him take the office. They're not going to do it. What do you mean? They're not going to take it. They're not going to let him do it. They're not. And so let me just tell you something. Do me a favor. If you honestly, there are people here who want to be miserable. They love it. There are people that I know. I have a friend who loves to tell you everything she's allergic to. I've never seen anything like it. Never go to a restaurant with her. Yes, excuse me. I'm allergic to tree nuts and ground nuts. If I have a nut, I'm going to die. Okay? Any kind of seed oil, I can't take. If it's fried, it has to be not in flax oil. And there can't be any, it has to be aluminum free. Forget it. There are people who love this. Les Mis. They love anxiety. They don't know anything about politics. They just they take their own plight, their own anger, their angst, their misery in life. There's no success. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing. It's just always, you don't understand. He's not tough enough. He's not strong enough. He's got a lot of things to change. You have right now a person who is who basically is on some kind of a vacuity spectrum nobody's ever seen. You have a woman who you can even watch SNL and see them make fun of her. There is nothing there. They have never once pushed, and they pit her with someone, Mr. Jazz Hands, who is a complete and cosmic joke. They've had one absolute cosmic, and by the way, the numbers, you're not going to see the numbers like this. Do you think ABC, CNN, or anybody's going to say, boy, after that McDonald's thing, it went through the roof? Of course not. But see, there are other people who don't want to do that. They say, you don't understand. That was a fluke. That doesn't matter. They're going to go in there and they're going to change. And then I understand that it's a good idea to be vigilant as far as vote counting. But there are other people who just believe that there's never going to be a legitimate vote ever again. And they'll say, well, there was a report of such and such, but is it significant? Well, I don't know if it's significant. But they're doomsayers. They're Cassandras. They love this. I want you to think about how great this country is because of this man. And I know that the naysayers aren't going to like that. But I swear to God, do you know how strong? And this is going to keep going after him. The whole MAGA thing is just after him. And I'm not going to tell you the man's perfect. Of course he's not perfect. But there are people right now. Did you ever think in your life you would see these many people showing up to rallies, waiting 2-3 days ahead of time? Madison Square Garden, 100 to 200,000 outside. They're never going to give you the real number. Waiting to see maybe whether the ticket they got even works or not. Oh, but that's a fluke. That doesn't matter. That's other people. Well, that's just, look, there have been other rallies before, but they're gonna steal it. And there's always these people that love to do it. These people that if there's any hope in your heart, if there's anything, they come along and they say, oh, I'm gonna dash that. Oh, I'm not gonna, I got somebody over here who's actually, you're looking forward to Tuesday? Oh, that's right. You're not gonna have anything. There's gonna be lawyers. Watch what happens. They're gonna disqualify him. You're gonna watch the Supreme Court come. Oh, no. Who is this guy? He's the turd in the punch bowl. He's the guy that comes along all the time. Goes, no, I'm smarter than you. You, when you're stupid, you keep thinking everything's great. It's awful. Can you say anything about Kamala? No. Is there anything you would advise her? No. You're gonna tell her, don't worry about it. You're doing great. Is that what you're saying? Maybe you are. Maybe maybe you would say, listen, Gamal, you don't know me. I'm a Republican, technically a Trump supporter, but you got it, hon. Yeah, not because of you, but they're going to do it. You're going to get it because after all, it's going to go to the judges and they're going to abolish the electoral college and all this kind of stuff. And then, who are you? I'm the turd in the punch bowl. I'm from the other side. They kicked me out of here because I'm just a pain in the ass. But you're going to win, not because you're good, but because it's so because they won't let the real winner win. Would you tell her that? No. Think about this. If MAGA was an actual party, I'd join it. Absolutely. I would join it. I would absolutely join it. It's the thing that, it's so funny. It's funny how all of a sudden we're into numbers and polls. You notice that? Love the number. Everybody's a poll expert. Any poll. Hey, did you hear this? The Washoe Community College poll shows Trump loses every state. What about that? The who? The Washoe Community College poll. They say that Trump's going to win. Who is the Washoe? It doesn't matter. It's a poll. Did you hear that? What about that? Oh, now my day's done. That's it. Now my day's done. Okay, these are the same people. Remember when BMI numbers came out? Remember when that? And BMI, body mass index, they said it really doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. It kind of does, but there's a slight variation. But basically, based upon your height, you're supposed to weigh from this to this. And if you weigh that, you're normal, you're underweight or overweight or whatever it is. And that's it. And people said, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous number. We're big in my family. You can't tell by a number. Numbers don't mean anything. What have you... I've heard people, by the way, in the old days when blood alcohol levels would come out, people would say, you can't tell if somebody's a 0.18. See, my 0.18 is different than your 0.18. And say, what? What are you talking about? Okay. They selectively pick whatever they want to hear. But then the doomsayers and the Cassandras love this. And I don't, and maybe, you know what? Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe A, they don't understand it. Maybe B, maybe there's something personal going on. Or maybe they just don't. I don't know. Some people just like to be the naysayer. Brad Rung says, he said yesterday in Lancaster, after him, the next guy might have 250 people show up to see them. This is a movement that you'll never see again. Could very well be. Absolutely. Absolutely. You may never see this again. And I don't know what you're going to see on the Democrat. I will predict what I was said then. You're going to see Gavin Newsom, and I think they may have. I could tell them a lot more what to do than they might want to hear. I think they kind of know what to do. I don't even know what this is about, and I can't figure it out. See, that's another one. These people who try to figure out, well, why did they pick somebody so bad? Well, the reason why is, you see, this is, and they say, you're making this up, aren't you? Yeah, I'm making it up. You're making it up. I'm making this up. Okay. Because I don't understand why they picked her. Why didn't they pick somebody who was somewhat more intelligent? I don't know. In any event, I want you just to do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. And just for the love of God, just relax. And do me a favor. Also, do yourself a favor. When you're around people who are negative, just say, you know what? I think the phone's ringing. And just leave. Just leave. I don't know why. Say, listen, I don't want you not to be able to say what you want. I don't want you. Please. I just don't want to hear you. Lou Lewis says, I join you in joining the MAGA party. Absolutely. I would do it 100%. I can't be a Republican. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what the Republicans. What does that mean? Who? Ted Cruz? By the way, Ted Cruz may get it handed to him for reasons that, I don't know. Marco Rubio? I don't know who these people are. They're okay. I see a MAGA. I see a version. I see people like Tulsi Gabbard who hits a chord. Bobby Kennedy Jr. who hits a chord. Tucker, Elon, Vivek, people part of maybe not necessarily the actual cabinet, though it could be. I think somebody like Vivek, I could say, what do you know about transportation? Nothing? You're smart. Do it. They put this Pete Booty giggity. This guy should be ashamed of himself. He did absolutely nothing. Elon will remain over here. other people are going to come in and they're going to do things that you never thought possible. Sarah Huckabee Sanders was absolutely brilliant. Stephen Miller, brilliant. Be careful of other people. We need them. Steve Bannon is very good in the world of media. Alex Jones is coming back. There's no doubt about that. I have this crazy idea. Don't ask me why. They're going to say, okay, we all settled that. We settled that up. Yeah. Did you bankruptcy done? Judgment, satisfaction, done, finished, closed, good. You're liquidated, done and finished, good. Thank you. Welcome to your new gig. Here you go. And you're paid by people that, well, maybe you'll never know who they are. He's coming back. He's needed. He's required. It's a new country. It's a new world because the rules have changed. The stuff from the old days that. And what I want people to understand, what I really want to do, is I want Elon Musk to come in and say, we have the best computer and mathematics folks in the world, and we're going to change how elections are tabulated, how they're forecasted, and how they're produced like this. Elon Musk has a rocket backing up into the launching tower. And the worst thing they want to say is it is now foolproof. It is foolproof. We have done to this. We have taken AI, and you cannot dump all ballots or last minute, nothing. They're watermarked, they're tagged, they're coded, they're this, they're that. Let the brightest people in the world with the greatest computers say, here's how we do it. And you know what we'll say? Do this. Do this. I will never understand. My name is Demetrius Splitkin. I'm given the code number 1234 ABCD. That's my number. When it's entered, that's it. Demetrius Splitkin is marked off. He cannot vote again. If that name comes up, if his address comes up, if anything comes up, if that name, it doesn't work because it's already voted. Now, I can give it to somebody if I want. Just like I can go in. Well, you can say, you know what? Give me $50. I'll vote for you. I can only do it one time, but I can't help. Please explain to me why that's a big deal. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand. Tell me what the big deal is. Who is you? Demetrius Splitkin. There we go. Papa Kilo. Your number is 123 ZXQ. Boom. That's it. Your number. You sign up for this? Yeah. Here's your phone, whatever it is. Here's your vote. Here's your vote. It, Trump, boom, boom, whatever it is. I'll verify it. Good luck. Try hacking it. That's it. The name doesn't come up anymore. And that's the vote. And he's got people, they got systems, and you will know immediately after when they say, okay, 9 o'clock. Now, ding. You ever see it in France? I remember one time watching one. Remember that time, honey, it was a weekend. We were watching the French vote. He goes, and the winner is. He goes, wait a minute. That's it. That's it. The winner is Macron. Hey. Stop this. They're not going to get rid of the electoral system. This voting system is ridiculous. It's stupid. What about these people? Remember in Iraq? Hey, here's my finger in a purple thing. Great. Terrific. What happens? Ta-da. Ta-da. Come on. Stop it. Just stop it. This is a joke. And the longer somebody doesn't say, okay, Elon, can you fix this? I can fix this. You don't need silicon, but I know. Hey, Teal, can you do it? I got them. I got people who live and breathe and we know systems. And you ready for this? On my team, I also have this one. I say, hello, I'm a part of the Trump team. And guess who I am? And I don't work for it. You know who these people are? These are hackers. They work for us. They hack for us. We offer them each $1 million if they can figure out how to get in here. So far, we haven't given the money away yet. I have people constantly testing the system. Constantly. The best and the brightest. We have new AI, AGI, we've got all this. We're going after it. they will say there's no more fraud. There's no more, not fraud, there's no more potential for fraud. There's no more potential. Have you ever done one of these things where you see my file, my chart? Hey doc, where's my, do you go to my chart? There it is. And somehow people find out, they get prescriptions and they do this and it just works great. Yeah, nobody's tapped into your money. I don't know. It's the, when we do that SAG after thing, you get a card. Here's your thing. Type it. Here's your number. One time. That's it. Try doing it again. Demetrius split. Angelica Creek cannot vote again. It doesn't exist unless you change your name. Unless you change your name. And each ballot is cross-referenced. You go, no. Who is this? Angelica Split? No. We know Angelica Creek, but Angelica, there is no Angelica. Her name doesn't cross. Doesn't. What are you talking about? That's not a problem. I want you, my friends, to feel positive, to feel good, to enjoy this, and stay away from doomsayers. There are people, I don't know why they do this. I have no idea. I will never understand. They just love to make people worry. All right? Good. All right, you have a great and a glorious day, my friends. Don't forget to go to Lynn's Warriors. Make sure you sign up for that. Sign up. Sign up for Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors. Great stuff. Also, make sure you're subscribed to Lionel Nation and Lionel Legal. Sometimes they get kind of whatever. And also, I hope you sign up for the newsletter, which I'm going to put out, which you're going to want to see. All right, my friends, have a great and a glorious day. And one more time, remember, when people get you down, when people are negative, when people drain you, not just here, but in life, leave them. There's no duty for you to tolerate this anymore. You got that? Great. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. You see you tonight at 7. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Go Trump. Ta-ta.